Who is your entrepreneurial role model? When you think of an entrepreneur, who comes to mind? Is it somebody you have seen on television, or in a newspaper, or online? Maybe you saw them on television in a show like Shark Tank, which is broadcast in the USA. Shark Tank is based on a similar show called Dragon's Den in the UK, which in turn is based on the Japanese show Tigers of Money. The stars of these shows are people who have made enough money to invest in other businesses, which they judge have a potential for strong growth and the prospect of making the investors even more money. The would-be entrepreneurs who go on these shows seeking investment are usually at stage 4 startup. They're seeking financial help, guidance, and access to the networks that the investors can provide, so that they too can progress to stage 5 scale-up. Although the shows are primarily for entertainment, it is possible to learn some useful lessons. What can we discern from watching and listening to the investors and the would-be entrepreneurs? We might deduce that it's much easier to start a small business than to grow it into a large business. We might notice qualities in the entrepreneurs that we admire or wish to emulate. We might admire their ability to sell their ideas in a convincing manner. Equally, we may spot failings that we would want to try and avoid. We might note the dangers of not understanding the financial numbers underpinning the business. Overall, what we see are a diverse range of people in all sorts of business sectors, all trying to act and think in an entrepreneurial way. We can learn from these examples and maybe even be able to find individuals that could act as a role model. Somebody who we could try to understand in more detail. Somebody who we could emulate. Somebody who inspires us to further action. However, the people we could choose as role models don't need to be the stars, the household names, the CEOs of the biggest companies on the planet. They could be somebody closer to home. Perhaps you work for an entrepreneur. Maybe a family member or friend runs their own business. Whoever you choose, try to reflect on what makes them successful and how do they make use of an entrepreneurial mindset.